China is staging the regime's largest ever military parade.
The display has been packed with pomp, patriotism and political posturing. It has also been the grandest of progress reports.
What we are witnessing here in Beijing is the global order changing before our very eyes.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Okay guys, we're going to be seeing a video today. This is titled China's Military Parade 2025 and its massive global effect. All right, so a lot of people have been talking about China's 2025 military parade, so we don't really know what impact that is really going to have globally. So if you're curious to see this video with me, please subscribe, and if you find this video interesting, like, share and comment. All right, so let's jump in.
Extraordinary military display by China to commemorate the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II has become a direct challenge to America's global position.
Some remarkable video to show you this morning from Beijing. China is staging the regime's largest ever military parade.
The display has been packed with pomp, patriotism and political posturing. It has also been the grandest of progress reports.
What we are witnessing here in Beijing is the global order changing before our very eyes.
They said 2025 would be just another year, another tick on the calendar. But as dawn breaks on the September 3rd, the world will wake up to something far bigger than celebrations and speeches. This isn't a parade for the cameras. It's a message carved in steel and precision, a declaration that the old balance of power is fading and a new order is rising. Every movement down Chang'an Avenue will speak louder than any headline. Hypersonic missiles gliding past, drones designed to hunt in swarms, autonomous tanks that don't need a driver to crush their target. This is not about symbolism, it's about supremacy. This is about telling the whole world what China is truly capable of. And trust me when I say that every radar station, every intelligence network, and every military think tank will be watching this because they know what's at stake. This is China's 2025 military parade. But more than that, it's a live broadcast of the future of warfare. And for the first time in decades, that future might not have Washington in control. The tables have now turned, and this time China will not hold its military power back. Let's just say everything's on the show, and the world is about to witness it all with their eyes wide open. Welcome back to Race to Space, the channel where we break down the tech, tactics, and power plays shaping tomorrow's wars. Today we're going deep into why this single event could rewrite global strategy forever. Buckle up, because what you're about to see might change how you look at war itself. Imagine this, a bright blue Beijing sky, cameras rolling, columns of soldiers marching in perfect unison. And then, the real show begins. Truck after truck carrying weapons the world has never seen. Hypersonic missiles that can hit a carrier before its radar even knows they exist. Stealth bombers gliding low like shadows, defying detection. Massive drones flying in perfect formation, like a mechanical flock of predators. It's not just the visuals that matter, it's the message behind them. For decades, parades were about pride, but this one is about dominance. It's about telling every rival, from Washington to Tokyo to New Delhi, that the era of guessing China's capabilities is over. Every missile, every aircraft, every strange-looking vehicle, analysts will be replaying the footage frame by frame. But here's the twist. By the time they figure out what they're looking at, it might already be too late. Now, when it comes to the United States, this parade is more than just a geopolitical headache. It's a full-blown identity crisis. Why? Because for decades, the U.S. Navy ruled the seas, the U.S. Air Force ruled the skies, and no one questioned American dominance. But September 3rd threatens to shatter that illusion. Why? Because the weapons on display won't just be incremental improvements, they'll be generational leaps. Hypersonic glide vehicles capable of traveling at Mach 10, stealth drones designed for autonomous swarm attacks, anti-ship ballistic missiles like the DF-27 that can punch through any carrier defense. And here's the kicker. The U.S. knows its own next-gen projects, NGAD fighters, hypersonic missiles, are years away from full deployment. Years. Meanwhile, China isn't just testing, it's producing. This parade tells the world China's military isn't catching up anymore. It's pulling ahead. So what happens when the United States sees a peer? No. A rival that can neutralize its greatest assets. Simple. Panic. Strategic recalculations. Billions in emergency defense budgets. Think about the U.S. carrier strike groups, the pride of American power projection. For decades, these floating fortresses ruled every ocean. But when China rolls out its new anti-ship missiles and maybe even shows off its Type 004 nuclear-powered supercarrier, the message is crystal clear. Your oceans aren't safe anymore. And let's not forget about space. Yes, space. Expect to see orbital weapons hinted at in this parade. Satellite killers, high-energy laser systems, maybe even prototypes for space-based interceptors. The U.S. Space Force will have its hands full. Washington has two options: either escalate the arms race or risk being left in the dust. And neither option is cheap. Neither option is fast. Now let's zoom out, because it's not just the U.S. sweating bullets. Every major power, Russia, India, Japan, the EU, is watching this parade like a live countdown to their own vulnerability. For Russia, this is complicated. On one hand, Moscow and Beijing share common rivals. On the other, Russia's status as a military giant is being overshadowed badly. Hypersonic bragging rights? China's about to take those away. For India, this is an existential problem. The border tensions, the naval rivalry in the Indian Ocean, it all just got more dangerous. And for Japan and South Korea, their defense strategies, heavily reliant on U.S. protection, are looking shaky. Because if the U.S. can't guarantee dominance, what then? And here's the big picture. NATO isn't immune either. Europe has been slow to modernize its military, assuming American power as a constant. This parade is a brutal reminder. That constant is gone. Now let's not sugarcoat it. This isn't a celebration. In fact, it is a warning shot. Beijing is saying, loud and clear, if you challenge us, you will lose. And it's not just talk. The hardware speaks for itself. Hypersonic missiles that leave missile defenses useless. Stealth fighters that could outfly anything the West fields today. Autonomous swarms that overwhelm traditional air defenses in minutes. This is deterrence through spectacle, a display so overwhelming that any thought of military confrontation looks suicidal. And trust me, the parade isn't for the average citizen. It's for the generals in Washington, the admirals in the Pacific, the planners in Brussels. It's for anyone still clinging to the fantasy of Western military superiority. So what could possibly happen after the smoke clears and the crowds go home? The real war begins, not on the battlefield, but in boardrooms, command centers, and R&D labs. The U.S. will accelerate NGAD, pump trillions into next-gen tech, maybe even revive abandoned programs. Europe will scramble for advanced missile defenses. India will double down on its military modernization. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Even if they start today, catching up will take years. And by then, China could be deploying 6th-gen fighters, AI-controlled swarms, hypersonic bombers, and nuclear-powered carriers. September 3rd isn't just a parade, it's a time bomb, counting down to a future where China holds the keys to air, sea, space, and cyber dominance. So ask yourself this: when history looks back, what will matter more, the weapons on display, or the moment the world realized the balance of power had shifted for good? Because on September 3rd, what the world witnessed wasn't just a parade. It was a declaration, a message that said the old playbook of war is gone, and a new one has taken its place. Every missile, every drone, every autonomous system that rolled down that boulevard wasn't just hardware, it was a warning. For decades, the Stars and Stripes symbolized military dominance. They wrote the rules, they set the pace. But this time, the future didn't come draped in red, white, and blue. It came from the East. This is Race to Space, your window into the technologies shaping tomorrow's wars. If this opened your eyes, hit like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Because September 3rd wasn't just a date, it was the day the rules changed. The only question now is, who writes the next chapter?
Wow, I love how intentional China is in showcasing their arms. Like, it's really a very crystal clear message to the entire world. They didn't actually say it, they actually just show us, like, okay, you guys should be careful, nobody should come close. I think it's actually time for the US and the EU to start planning on creating diplomatic relationship with other countries. They need to learn to listen and also collaborate with other countries and not try to like boss around the sovereignty of others, all right? So instead of threatening, instead of bullying, instead of sanctioning, instead of freezing financial assets and also like threatening the sovereignty of others, like they should like come close, they should calm down and try to like build a strong relationship with other countries. Like, the world is going to be a better place. It's really going to be a better place. Please share your thoughts and your opinion. What do you think about China's show, this their military parade? What effect do you think is going to have on the entire world? Like, what effect do you think it has globally? Please share your thoughts and your opinion in the comment section. All right, thank you guys for watching and see you guys on my next one. Bye.